Darkness surrounds the silent hills of southeastern Turkey. The wind moves across the barren landscape, carrying dust from a forgotten age. Beneath this soil, under layers of earth untouched for thousands of years, lies a secret so old that it shakes the foundations of human history. This place is Göbekli Tepe, an ancient temple older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, older even than the idea of civilization itself. And the greatest mystery still hangs in the air. Who built it? The story begins more than 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. At that time, humans were not farmers, not city builders, not engineers. They were nomadic hunter-gatherers, wandering in small bands, surviving day to day. According to everything we once believed, people of this period should not have possessed the knowledge or the resources to build anything monumental. Yet, Göbekli Tepe stands as a contradiction carved in stone, a place that should not exist. When archaeologists first uncovered its massive T-shaped pillars, some standing over 5 meters tall and weighing as much as 20 tons, they were stunned. These stones were aligned in circular formations, carved with astonishing skill and decorated with images of animals: lions, foxes, snakes, vultures, boars, each depicted with precision and artistic mastery. Even more surprising was the age. Radiocarbon testing revealed that the oldest layers date back to around 9,600 BC. That means Göbekli Tepe is more than twice as old as the pyramids, and thousands of years older than the earliest known cities. In many ways, it represents the dawn of human spirituality. The most unsettling element is not just its age, but what it implies. If this temple truly predates the development of agriculture, then everything we thought we knew about human progress is reversed. The traditional story of civilization tells us that farming came first, then came settlements, social organization, religion, and monumental architecture. Göbekli Tepe flips this narrative upside down. Here, it appears that religion, or at least a powerful spiritual belief, came first, and that may have brought people together in large numbers. Instead of agriculture giving rise to temples, Göbekli Tepe suggests that temples might have given rise to agriculture. But who were the builders? Archaeologists refer to them as pre-pottery Neolithic people, but that name is a convenient placeholder for a civilization we still cannot identify. They left behind no written language, no recorded myths, and no clear signs of their daily life. All that remains are the stone rings on a lonely hilltop. Yet these structures reveal remarkable sophistication. The carvings show a deep understanding of wildlife and symbolism. Some pillars appear to represent human-like beings, with arms and hands carved directly into the stone. Others are decorated with abstract shapes whose meanings remain unknown. One of the most compelling mysteries is the purpose of Göbekli Tepe. It is not a settlement. There are no homes, no fire pits, no domestic tools. This was not a place where people lived. It was a gathering place, a sanctuary, a ritual ground, perhaps the world's first temple. People likely traveled from distant regions to take part in ceremonies held here. The presence of feast remains, animal bones from large gatherings, suggests that rituals were communal and possibly seasonal. This was a site of power, unity, belief. Yet there is more to the mystery. Around 8000 BC, the builders, or their descendants, did something extraordinary. They deliberately buried the entire site. Stone circles that took immense labor to construct were slowly filled in with earth and rubble. The burial was careful, intentional, almost respectful. Why would a society bury its own sacred center? Was it a ritual closure? A response to changing climate? A shift in belief? Or was it protection? An attempt to preserve a place they believed was too important, too sacred, or too dangerous to leave exposed? Even today, we do not have answers. Some researchers believe the burial was a ceremonial act, marking the end of an era. Others think it was connected to the rise of agriculture, as the surrounding region was one of the birthplaces of early farming. Perhaps as society shifted from nomadic to settled life, the old spiritual practices were replaced by new ones, and Göbekli Tepe was laid to rest. There are also theories, more controversial, more speculative, that dare to push beyond the boundaries of traditional archaeology. Some suggest that Göbekli Tepe may have been influenced by a lost culture, one that had knowledge far beyond its time. The precision of the carvings, the size of the stones, and the engineering required to erect them have led some to propose that the builders possessed skills passed down from an earlier, now vanished world. While mainstream archaeology does not support these claims, the mystery leaves room for imagination. The layout of Göbekli Tepe adds another layer of complexity. Each circle appears to have been constructed at a different time, with the oldest buried beneath the newer ones. This suggests that the site evolved over centuries, possibly under the guidance of generations of spiritual leaders or master builders. The central pillars in each enclosure are flanked by smaller stones, arranged like an audience facing two towering deities. This design hints at ritual performances, storytelling, or ceremonial gatherings centered around these powerful symbols. Some researchers believe that the carvings represent a kind of early mythology, or even an attempt to record events in the natural world. For example, the famous vulture stone appears to show a decapitated human figure, a vulture, and abstract symbols that some interpret as a reflection of beliefs about death and the afterlife. Others see astronomical patterns encoded into the pillars, constellations or celestial events that might have held spiritual significance for the builders. Still, the question remains unanswered. How did hunter-gatherers organize the manpower needed to construct such a site? Moving multi-ton stones requires dozens, perhaps hundreds of coordinated workers. This level of cooperation suggests the presence of leadership, planning, and shared purpose. Göbekli Tepe may represent the earliest form of social complexity, predating the rise of villages and the first farming communities. And then there is the question of why the site was abandoned. After centuries of use, activity suddenly stopped. The hill was filled in, the temples sealed beneath the earth, and the people moved on. But to where? No direct descendants of this culture have been identified. No written record survives. Only the stone pillars remain, buried for thousands of years until rediscovered in the late 20th century. Today, Göbekli Tepe stands as a silent reminder that history is far older and far stranger than we once believed. It challenges the linear story of human development and suggests that spirituality, cooperation, and architectural ambition existed long before farming or settled life. Whoever built it possessed vision, skill, and determination that surpass what we imagined possible for their time. The mystery endures because Göbekli Tepe answers almost nothing. It only raises more questions. Who were these people? How did they acquire such knowledge? Why did they build a temple? Why did they bury it? And what stories did they carve into the stone that we may never decipher? As archaeologists continue to uncover new sections of the site, they hope to find clues that will reveal the identity of its builders. But for now, Göbekli Tepe remains a puzzle from the edge of history, a monument to a forgotten people whose legacy survives only in silent stone. Until we understand the minds that shaped these pillars, Göbekli Tepe will remain one of humanity's greatest ancient mysteries, a story carved not on paper, but in the earth itself, waiting for us to uncover the truth.